and how you can utilize the officers that will be under you to better combat that issue.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to take a break, folks. The phone numbers for the station are 257-1111. And if you're not in the local area, it's 866-554-6636. I'd like you to call in with any questions that you have for Wes. This is your opportunity to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Sorry, Wes. And ask any questions you may have. So we'll be right back. All righty, we are back. And this morning, folks, we've got Wes Ellison, who is running for sheriff up in Texas County. Wes has an extraordinary background in law enforcement. If you've got questions for him, our telephone numbers are 257-1111 or 866-554-6636. I'm going to give you those again. Write them down this time. 257-1111 and 866-554-6636. If these phone numbers are not already in your phones, folks, shame on you. All right, so Wes, we're back. One of the things that I before the break that I wanted to talk a little bit about was this issue of methamphetamine here in the Ozarks, because, I mean, as you probably know, they call this crap 417 nationwide.
Yeah, I think we're...
Which is, pretty scary idea, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, how we can... I mean, what do you see as the way to stop this? Personally, I look at methamphetamine, and I'm not sure that it can be stopped by law. I don't think people are afraid of it. Once they get so wrapped up in this trash, I don't think anything is a deterrent to them. They're willing to sacrifice basically anything for that.
Yeah, and I talked to a guy one time, and he had done meth, and he had battled it and overcame it, but he told me, he said, if you do it one time, you're addicted. He said it's bad stuff. And it's so easy to make, and I hate all the regulations. You can't even buy Sudafed over the counter anymore.
Right.
Because of that, which, kind of irritates me.
Right, let's penalize everybody for the misactions of 0.0001% of the population.
Yeah, but it is just, people are making it in their cars going down the road now. It's just ridiculous.
I keep hearing news stories about somebody getting caught like in the bathroom in Walmart making it.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how desperate can you be to go steal the stuff off the shelf, take it into the bathroom in Walmart, and cook it up in a cube or whatever you call it? Gee whiz, when they cook it up, do they mean cook physically, or is there a way to make it just chemically or something?
Well,
I don't know anything about it. I could spell it.
Chemically, but, and some of the chemicals you want to watch out for, obviously drain cleaner, that liquid fire, kerosene. If somebody's buying a whole bunch of cold medicine or Sudafed, that's going to key in, or if there's boxes, laying around.
Yeah.
There's tons of ways of making it, and
I went into the sheriff's office in Howell County here, and they had a poster up on the wall of all of the stuff that... Is there a caller? Oh, yeah, go ahead. The producer had a comment.
Okay.
You guys are talking about meth. There's actually a really good show out there called Breaking Bad, and they do a really good job at showing some of the circumstances in which meth is made. And they use a character, a school teacher, so you can sympathize with the other characters in the show, which are just drug addicts.
Mm-hmm.
And so it teaches you a lot of things.
That was a movie, right? Although it's now a series. I have never seen it, but I've seen it advertised.
I think it's just a TV series, but the episodes are 1 hour long, so it's...
I got you. Have you ever seen that, Wes?
No, I haven't. I'm like you. I've seen it advertised.
I'm not a big TV fan. But
I'm normally working when those shows are on.
Right. I'm not a big fan of anything that I don't like watching cop shows personally. I don't get it. It's like somebody's gloating over somebody else's agony.
Yeah.
I don't understand that,
I just don't want this to be misunderstood. This isn't like one of those reality TV...
Oh, I see. Okay.
Those, like, crap, what they play, like,
I hope they're not glorifying it. That's all I can say.
They don't glorify it. They
Good.
do the exact opposite. They're trying to raise awareness.
I got you.
And they do a pretty good job. They do a good job.
Gotcha. Well, so let's get off the drugs a little bit, Wes, and talk a little bit about some of the other stuff. Because one of the, a pet peeve for me, and we've had other sheriffs running in other counties on, or candidates. One of the pet peeves for me is that with the size of our counties, we have generally a city law enforcement, police department, if you will, right? And then we have a county sheriff.
Right.
And it's my experience that I'll go through a town or a city and I'll see sheriff's office police cars driving through the community, and they're not out on patrol out in the county. They're duplicating what the city law enforcement officers are doing. And, maybe that's because that's where the fast food is, or maybe they're just there for a lunch break. But, it just seems awful consistent that I'm seeing sheriff's officers who are in the community instead of out in the county. And why are we paying 2 police officers to do the same thing? I can't stand law enforcement where they write tickets as a revenue generation tool. And I suspect that a lot of that is that because they can catch more. There's more vehicles around in the cities than there are in the county. But that's not what we're paying them for. And if revenue generation is the driver, then it's not law enforcement. It's made for work kind of thing. Make busy work. I don't like that. That's not what we're paying you guys for. And I don't mean you personally, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
We're paying you to be out there to protect the community, right? And if a 911 call comes in and you're in the city, you can't get to the county fast enough.
Right.
And from outside the cities, that's the number one complaint I hear, is that it takes so long for a sheriff to get there that, that's why most of the people in rural America are armed.
Yeah.
It's like I can dial 911, but, they're too far away.
And, that's kind of a supervisory issue, or, the sheriff should crack down on that. A lot of it is the guys want to hang close to where it's more populated because there's more going on. And it's, it gets, when you spend a day driving around out in the county roads and you don't find nothing, it's, I don't want to spend another day doing that. But that's your job,
Yeah, but this isn't hunting. This is guard duty, right? The difference is that if you're a hunter, you don't belong in law enforcement, with all due respect. And when I say a hunter, I'm talking about, writing tickets for the seatbelt nonsense, writing tickets for somebody doing 5 or 8 or 10 miles an hour over the limit. Stop that. Let's focus on what is real crime. Be a hunter for the guy whose car got stolen. Be a hunter for the guy whose house got robbed and somebody, took 20 guns out of his house and took off into the woods. Be a hunter for that stuff. But let's not be a hunter and prey on our communities. That's just my take on it. And I'm not in law enforcement. I've never been. But, I suspect that this is, a generalized opinion that will be supported by my listenership at any rate, is that, law enforcement is there to act as a backstop against the criminal element.
Right.
And so that's what we want you to do. That's what you're there for.
And a lot of guys make a lot of stops, and they're not necessarily writing tickets. They're looking for dope. They're looking for drug dealers. I've recovered stolen property. I've recovered stolen weapons. I don't personally stop anyone for speeding unless they're 15 over.
Right.